Hey everybody, today I want to go over a question I get asked an awful lot by a ton of the students here. What's the best type of knee brace, knee support to use for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? I recommend it an awful lot. There's a couple of trial and errors that I had done over the past 9 years of Jiu-Jitsu that you could probably avoid depending on what your need is, specifically if it's knee support or if it's a knee pad or if it's just a lateral inhibitor. So let's start off real super cheap. Copper Fit. You can get them at like Rite Aid for $10. Pretty good. Overall keeps your knee warm. Definitely inhibits a little bit of movement. But after like 1 or 2 washes, the elastic inside will start to degrade and it won't really be viable after those first few washes. More of a throwaway type thing, temporary remedy. Brings us to our next variation of the same type of neoprene supports, Tommie Copper. Tommie Copper I used for 4 years when my ACL, MCL, and meniscus was torn, and I didn't get an MRI to tell me so. So I would wear this, and it did a pretty good job of holding my knee in place, except when I jumped. Obviously, significant injury aside, I definitely think for $19 to $24, they were worth their weight in gold. They kept it laterally inhibited, they kept it a little warm, but didn't do anything for impact. So if we're going to move over to impact-based knee pads with no lateral inhibition, we've got this pad by Hex. I believe the main company is McGregor, if I'm not mistaken. Hex is good because the knee pad covers the entire knee, and it really does take the impact well. Even if it shifts a little bit, it does a pretty good job of covering. No real lateral movement inhibition, so if you need the both, I'd recommend going Tommie Copper under, Hex on top, and that's what I did for a long time, so I could drop my knee down to the mat for like a double leg. Moving over now away from the knee support and just going more into the more popular brand, Ace. Ace I had a number of trial and errors with before I found one that worked. Basic sleeve with the cut for your patella with the very easy, flimsy lateral stability bars on the side. Pretty good overall, but not the desired if you're going to use it long term. It's good to couple with the knee pad. It's good to couple with the sleeve. So again, not my favorite, but trial and error you learn, and that way you don't go too far. Moving over to another Ace. This is like their next level up, where they actually have stability Velcro. It's got a little bit more padding around the kneecap. So if you're going between level 1 Ace and level 2 Ace, I'd say go level 2. Again, not my favorite pick out of the bunch, but a little bit less expensive, around $25 to $30. Now, if we're getting into serious knee injuries and more control, this is the Ace level 3, where it has the metal bars on the side, so when it moves, you could actually feel that you're not going to be able to move your leg side to side anymore. So if your problem is the wiggle, you won't have that issue with this one. It also is padded, so pretty good overall for knee down double legs and things of that nature, but really terrible for guard retention and guard recovery. The big watch out for this one is the metal bars on the side are sharp. They're not very covered, and it is easy to cut your partner or cut a mat. So I'd say check with your instructor, and also be viable that you don't slice your partner open with these bad boys. They do make a version above this too, where it can lock completely in place. So if you don't want your leg to bend at all in the flexing motion, you can do that as well. Which brings me to my last favorite and the one I use all the time, Bauerfeind. The Bauerfeind P3 I find is the best brace for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, best lateral inhibitor for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, best knee pad for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. There's a silicone cup on the patella, there's a silicone pad above, so you get a little bit of protection above and below the knee itself. On the sides, there's actually plastic stability bars, so they move, and they're flexible enough that they can actually move with you. On the top of the pad itself, there's also silicone inside, so it does hold a pretty good fit. As you can see, compared to a normal knee brace or knee pad, it's a lot longer, so coverage-wise, definitely a lot better. My favorite pick overall, the one I use all the time to train, coming off 2 ACL surgeries, the one thing that I was told by many other jiu-jitsu practitioners was go with Bauerfeind. This one retails for about $192. You can find it on Amazon for a little bit less, so it's just a matter of you doing a little due diligence. The one thing with Bauerfeind is, besides being expensive, you are going to have to measure your knee right. They ask you to take a measurement above and below the patella, so you're going to have to make sure you do that correct, otherwise you'll get an improperly sized knee pad. But one like this will last a long time. I've had these going on a year now, washing them 2 or 3 times a week. I have 2 sets for each knee in 2 colors, the blue and then the silver titanium. I'm not sponsored or have any vested interest in any of these companies. This is an objective review. So my recommendations is if you have a bad knee, ACL, MCL, meniscus, I go with Bauerfeind. It's going to be a little bit on the pricier side, but well worth its weight in gold. If you're just a little bit sore, you want a little support just to kind of hold it in place, go Tommie Copper. Anywhere from 20 to 25 bucks, can't go wrong with that. And if you want to couple it with the Hex knee pad, it'll definitely be a good start for your training and also a good way to keep you training just in case you're a little sore. All right, everybody. Good luck.